Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. This is going to be my new makeup releases for February. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. In today's video, I'm going to be chatting with you about all of the new makeup releases that have been announced in recent weeks, and there's a lot here. I just counted, there's 62 new makeup releases I would like to chat to you guys about. So without further ado, let's just get through this. I don't do this very often. I know some creators do them every week, but I find it very overwhelming with the amount of makeup that's being announced all the time anyway. So yeah. First up, this I think wasn't in the last video anymore because I think I filmed that video and then I found this announcement, so I couldn't put it in there anymore. And it's the new MAC lipstick nude collection. So these are all over the place. They are going viral and they have essentially released a nude lipstick range, very much 90s inspired. It's also pretty cool tone leaning in a lot of the shades, and they have new shades in a lot of their different formulas. So I think there are like 4 or 5 shades per formula. These shades I see people raving about the most are Folio, Cool Teddy, and Cool Spice, and I am definitely intrigued with this. I have rediscovered my love for MAC lipsticks in 2024. It sort of started to happen around the time they started to redo their lipstick lines, because MAC has re-released their entire lipstick range in the past year or so. And yeah, I discovered some new shades. I've been trying to I bought some new, shades that I used to have but that had expired on me again. It's a whole thing. So these are definitely on the wish list. And once I have enough MAC lip products, I think sometime in 2025, we are going to be doing a MAC lip swatch video on this channel, because I still have some of the old ones that haven't expired yet. And of course also those new shades that are newer to me. So this is definitely very intriguing. What shades would I like to get? Let me see. Stone lipstick is definitely something that I would want to get. The other ones, too brown, too nude, not really my sort of my sort of lip product. But I have Stone lip liner and really enjoy it. So getting that as a lipstick shade I think may work really well for me. And then I think there is also their Cool Spice then lip liner, which I would want to get. But they also do the liquid lipsticks, and those I'm not so interested in. But Folio I think might be nice for me, and Cool Teddy as well. I think Cool Teddy is actually more similar to the Teddy I used to own. Now it's very, very orange, but I used to have a very, very old Teddy lipstick, which I bought, it was one of my first items I ever bought from MAC. And the new Cool Teddy looks more similar to the Teddy I used to own. So that may be something that I might like. The rest of it is all a bit too brown, and it's pretty red leaning. So those are not things I personally would want to get. But I think it's a very successful launch for them, and a lot of people are raving about MAC lipstick again, which makes my heart happy. Then there is a lip oil from Makeup Revolution. This is their Pout Lip Oil. I actually think there's going to be another Revolution lip oil towards the end of this video. Lip oils are somehow still a thing. I'm over them because I have a couple that I enjoy and I don't feel I need more. But brands just keep coming out with them. So this is okay, I guess, if there were no Makeup Revolution lip oils yet, but I don't think they're any special. MAC has also announced a limited edition collection that should already be available, the Lux Luck collection. This doesn't really seem like anything special. Yeah, sure, it has a green lipstick and there's sort of duochrome liquid eyeshadows, but get those things from indie brands. I think you're far better off getting things like that from Unearthly Cosmetics or any of those sort of brands. They usually do them first. And then I think a release that a lot of people want to hear my opinion on, which is the Lisa Eldridge Pinpoint Concealer. Essentially, this is a pencil that is a concealer. It comes in a bunch of different shades. There's a whole chart on the website where you can find, if you're this foundation shade, this is the shade you need in the pencil. But this is not a unique product. Why is everybody acting like this didn't exist? MAC has done a concealer pencil for years. In fact, I used to own it back in the day. It got too dry. I had to chuck it out because it was too gross. But I used to use that on my waterline. I'm not even sure if it was meant to go onto your waterline, but I found out very early on in my makeup journey that I didn't love white or pink eyeliner to brighten up my eyes, but something very skin tone leaning I did like. So I used to have a MAC concealer pencil years ago. So this is nothing new. Is it very Lisa Eldridge though? It certainly is. Lisa Eldridge and her pinpoint concealing technique are famous around the globe. She has done many a video. I've seen her do this all the time. I've tried doing it myself. It's just far too consuming for my busy life. I need to be able to whack a makeup look onto my face in like 10 to 15 minutes in the morning before I head out to work. I don't have time to go like, I've got something here. Doesn't work for me. So for me, this product is not something I would want to get. It's also 34 euros, I think, like 30 euros, which I think for a pencil like this is quite a bit of money. I've heard a lot of people complain about how little product you get in these. So to actually use it as a concealer, I'm not so sure about it. So I think the this product makes a lot of sense for the line. It's like a really good launch for Lisa Eldridge. It's not a good launch for me. Then next up, the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation that is going viral for all the wrong reasons. Because this is a full coverage foundation. It's the Impeccable Blurring Second Skin Matte Foundation, medium to full coverage, where, you know, if full coverage just means you need to get your shade exactly right and to only come out with 20 shades with only 4 or 5 deeper skin tone shades in 2025. Like, Anastasia Beverly Hills, who are you kidding? Like, everything is medium. Everything is medium to light. There are hardly any deeper tone shades in this line. Please don't. This is matte and blurring and whatever. It's not going to be for me. I have super dry skin. If a foundation says matte, I know I'm not going to love it. So I'm not going to be wasting my money on that one. Then there is a Simply Posh Snow Angel collection that came out at the start of January. This looks pretty. I've never tried Simply Posh. This is supposed to be coming to MONOLITH, but there have been some delays with the stock of this brand arriving to their warehouse. So they have posted yesterday on their Instagram tab in their stories that these items aren't going to be stocked in the next launch on 2nd of February on MONOLITH. It's not going to come until the end of February, so, or maybe early March, whenever they do the next restock, that is. So this is not going to be part of the MONOLITH stock. Would I like to try Simply Posh? Part of me says yes, but part of me is also like, no. I've heard a lot of people rave about them, but it feels a bit too much like, you know, they're doing the little rows and you get 2 mattes, you get a shimmer in between. And I just like to get a little bit more creative with my makeup. So even though this looks like a really fun pastely winter themed palette, I don't think I need this per se in my life. I'm not sure it's going to be the thing I need to get from Simply Posh. Anna Sui has some new single shadows out. I've never tried anything from Anna Sui. It's just a bit difficult for me to get where I live. So maybe, because I think they're an Asian brand, right? So maybe when I get to Japan this summer, I might be able to find some Anna Sui. I'm also thinking it's going to be a very expensive brand to try, but they always have really cute packaging. I'm not really sure about the quality of the products. Let me know if you've tried any Anna Sui. I would love to know. Hourglass has the new Illusion Glow Foundation. This looks okay. I've tried Hourglass base products in the past. I've tried their Vanish Stick Foundation, which is really nice and hydrating. It's one of the very few stick foundations I ever tried that I did enjoy. So this can be a good one. It's Hourglass. They're a pretty solid brand. I think this can be nice. It's just, do I need a new foundation? I don't think so. Like, I still have like 2 or 3 unused foundations in my makeup collection currently that I haven't even tried yet. So it's going to be a while before I feel that urge to try more new foundation. It's time I start using things up. Patrick Ta is coming out with new blushes. So it's the cream and powder blush. There's also some controversy with Patrick Ta going on, I've heard. I don't know the specs about it precisely, but there are a couple of things that apparently aren't very good with the brand. There are some shades here that I do like the look of. I tried one of these in the past. It was in a pretty intense, like corally peachy shade, which was really pretty on. It's just that Patrick Ta as a brand caters to the whole like Instagram snatched sort of look, and that's not the look I'm going for with my makeup. So even though this product is good, I'm just not really interested in the brand. I've tried a couple of products from them when they first launched here in Europe. I can get them through Cult Beauty quite easily, even though the products are usually not in stock and then they go out of stock really easily. So you sort of need to set a timer to even be able to buy it here. So it's a bit of a pain to get your hands on it if you're in the EU. But yeah, from what I've tried, I'm like, it's nice, it's good. I see what they're trying to do. It's just not for me. This palette I hadn't really heard of, but it's going to be stocked on MONOLITH. It's the Blood Moon palette by Electrum Cosmetics. This apparently is very hyped up. This is a palette that a lot of people seem to be loving. It's a bit warm toned for my liking and a bit deep. So if you have deep skin, you might like this. It's not going to be for me. So I'm going to be skipping that one. We're going to be keeping the cherry theme rolling. In the previous new makeup releases, I showed you the Glossier Black Cherry collection. And Black Cherry, everything is like a thing at the minute. I'm not sure what's going on, but we have the cherry collection from Real Techniques. Did we need cherry themed brushes? No. Do I like it? Yes. Like if I actually, on a very random note, booked myself a day trip to London for May when I have vacation then. And I just wanted to see it was doable. I do this to go to Germany and to France sometimes, where I take the train. And the trains are going to be running as normal again this spring between the Netherlands and London. And if I look at the timetable, it should be feasible. If I catch a 7:28 train, I'm in London by 10 a.m. local time, and the train home leaves at 6. So I booked myself a ticket to see if this can work, and then I might actually be able to go to Glossier and see those cherry products in store if they still have them by that time. We'll see. I love a bit of a cherry moment myself. I already told you about the New Moon collection in my previous makeup releases video, but the products hadn't dropped yet, so there were no images of the actual products. I just had the announcement, so this is what those products look like. Yeah, what I had expected, warm toned, not my cup of tea. If they do an Eclipse one with the reds, that's what I'm hoping. Like if they do Eclipse next, then I hope it's going to have like reds and grays, because that's like the vibe the movie gives me. I would be interested in something like that. Eclipse is my favorite book and movie from the entire Twilight franchise. So that I would be interested in. This, not so much. Revlon also has a lip oil. Like, can we count together how many lip oils there are being announced in this? I already mentioned how I feel about lip oil. I don't need one from Revlon. Revlon is incredibly hard for me to buy. It's a no for me. CoverGirl has a true blend skin enhancer. This seems to be like contoury shades, some blushes, and some highlighters in a stick, which is great. Can I buy CoverGirl? No. So unless its sister brand Max Factor comes out with something like this, I will never be able to get my hands on this. So it's a no for me from now. But I think for CoverGirl it makes sense. I have a lip gloss. It's not a lip oil. It looks like a lip oil, but it's a lip gloss. It's by Makeup Forever, and this is the Super Boost Lip Gloss. The doe foot looks interesting, shall we say. Is this a pretty product? Yes. Does it look like a lip oil, lip gloss hybrid? Also yes. Do I need it from Makeup Forever? No, I just don't. More lip oil. Here we go. The third release. This is by Buxom. Who knew Buxom? Buxom was still around. I only know them from the White Russian like lip gloss. Everybody was talking about it. I found a Buxom stand really randomly at a Douglas in Cologne last year. So I was able to check out the brand, but there was nothing there that grabbed me. So I'm not entirely sure if this is something I could get my hands on. But yeah, this is not really something that I need to really, really do anything with. It's just another lip oil. This is a little video of Essence revealing their new products for Spring/Summer 2025. I already filmed a video with these, so if you want to see that, I'll leave it linked in the description box down below. I was very randomly just browsing, and I was like, might as well check the website to see if there's some new Essence stuff already, and I was able to find most of these things already that I was interested in. So if you want to see what's new from Essence, check it out in the description box down below. Charlotte Tilbury has a new shade extension to the contour wand, which it's high time they did this, because I have the contour wand in light medium and it's red on me. Like, I can't use it as a contour. It's far too pigmented. And I've seen a lot of people comparing this to another new release that I will be mentioning in a second. And the new fair shade is still not cool tone enough if you're truly cool toned. On me, it's going to look like bronzer. This is something I said when I talked about my favorite cool tone bronzers in January. I use contour shades that are promoted as contours by brands as bronzers, because very often that works better for me as a bronzer than actual bronzer shades do. So this to me would be a great liquid bronzer, but it's not going to be a contour. And we all know how I feel about Charlotte Tilbury by now. I've just fallen out of love with the brand a little bit. I used to really love them. I still love their lipsticks. I still think those are really good. But as I started trying more and more by the brand, I just didn't really find any new favorites, you could say, and those beauty light ones have been duped by drugstore brands into oblivion, and I like the dupes better. Sorry. Lethal Cosmetics has a Dexter collection out, which this looks pretty. It's got reds, and it's like those grungy shades on the other end, and they're like little vial-like lip products. I think it's very on brand. But I just feel that a collab between Lethal Cosmetics and Dexter, it's a bit random to me. Am I the only person who's feeling that way? Let me know in a comment down below, because I was a bit baffled by this one. Also because Dexter has been a show where there haven't been any new episodes for years. And I'm like, is there really like a cult following of Dexter fans? Like, if we got an ER collab, I would be here for it. That new show, The Pit, I've been watching the first couple of episodes. It's intense, but it's giving ER vibes, and that takes me back because I used to watch ER together with my mom when I was a teen. So that's fine. But this, I didn't quite get it. Do I think the products look amazing? Yes. Does Lethal have really good, amazing products? Also, yes. So I think it makes sense from that perspective, but the collab itself, I was like, okay, feels a bit random, but we'll get to some more random releases in a second, because what were we thinking? It's like, I really feel like you can now tell that all of the things that brands had sitting on a shelf throughout the pandemic that they felt they couldn't make any money on because people weren't spending that much money on like their outward appearance, because everybody was working from home, so everybody was buying sweatpants and going makeup free most of the time. And now we're getting all of those releases that they wanted to do 2 to 3 years ago, and now we're getting all of them. I just really feel that we're like catching up on things. I kind of feel that way about this as well. Physicians Formula comes out with a bronzer and blush stick. Seems to be double-sided. I never like it when they do that because I never find the shade that I like in both of those products if they are paired together like this. So for me, this Butter Glow and Go multi-use stick, I'm gonna skip that one. Blend Bunny has the Plastic Eye and Face palette out. This looks pretty. It seems to be like a Valentine's Day release, I think. It's got some hot pinks in. Does it look pretty? Yes. Do I like Blend Bunny? Yes. Do I like that Blend Bunny is coming out with a smaller palette? Also yes. Are these shades I'm going to realistically wear? Absolutely no. So that's why I'm passing up on this one. Maybelline has the new Hazy Matte Liquid Blush that is being released. This looks pretty. It's in their Sunkissed range, it seems. They now have bronzers, blushes, and highlighters. I think it's pretty popular, this range is. Are there any shades here that make me go like, I want those? No. As you will see later on this month when I show you my blush collection, I have plenty of liquid blush, so no can do for me. Nomad has a new palette out, and it's the first Nomad palette in a year that is making me go like, I kind of want this. It's après-ski in Chamonix. I think that's how you say it. It's got these like purpley berry shades, greens, and then blues. Now, if you know anything about me, you know I love blue, greens, and purples. Those are like my 3 favorite colorful shades. And this palette has all of them in one go. It's just that the berry purpley tones seem like they are going to be too warm toned for my liking. If those were dusty, mauvey, heathery purples that lean a little bit more towards the lavender spectrum, I would be all ears. I would be totally here for it. I would be like, Nomad, take my money. I need that palette in my life. But now they've made them these warmer berry tones, and I'm like, that's not gonna be for me. That's not gonna be for me. So let me know how you feel about this one, because this one is pulling on my heartstrings. Do I need it? No. Do I have plenty of eyeshadow palettes? Yes. Do I have plenty of blue, green, purple eyeshadow palettes in my makeup collection? Also, yes. So I know I don't need this. I know I don't need this, but this looks so pretty. And I think Nomad is one of the easiest indie brand formulas on the market, as in like how it works once you put brushes to it and stuff. So Nomad, I love this palette from you guys. But for now, I'm like, maybe not. Revolution has an under eye brightener and concealer. So this looks like they're duping something. I don't know exactly what. It's a bit Rare Beauty like, isn't it? It feels Rare Beauty to me. Pretty, yes. Is Makeup Revolution usually pretty good at doing inclusive shade ranges? Also yes, but this only comes in 6 shades. Is it only 6 shades? Let me know, because there's only 6 shades on this list here, so that may not be the best for everyone. But this could be one of those like skincare hybrids, like the Rare Beauty one, where it doesn't have a lot of coverage. I'm thinking it's something like that. Essence also has some new palettes out. These seem to be only available in the US though, on the official Essence website. The top one, the art gallery one, and I'm not sure what it's called. Vintage art. Oh, it's Vintage Art and Pop Art. Those are the names of the 2 palettes. So the Vintage one is the neutrally leaning one, and then the Pop Art one is the more colorful one. The Vintage Art one is, of course, the one that I would get. I don't have great experiences with these bigger palettes from Essence. I've tried a couple that came our way in the end, but this, I'm not sure. I'd have to try it. Not sure when it comes to Europe as well. Sometimes these US releases don't make their way to Europe until like a year or 2 later, and then it's just not going to make a lot of sense for me to test it out anymore. Catrice is coming out with a limited edition collection, the Kiss and Glow collection. It's just a bunch of lip products. Catrice can do good lip products, but they've just launched 5 new lip lines as part of their regular collection, so why do we need a limited edition one again? Can anyone help me out with that one? Because that feels random. We have a new collection from Flower Nose, their Strawberry Cupid collection. It apparently also comes with a beautiful, beautiful cool tone color story, which is Asia only. I saw it on TikTok. One of the creators I follow on there is called Ghoul in Japan, and she is the queen of all things gray toned. And like dusty lavender. So if you love like almost like gothic inspired cool tone makeup, go watch her, because she does some really good things. And she has the palette. It was gifted to her in PR, and she has this really beautiful cool tone color story that really made me go like, oh, I want this. And then she made a video the other day saying it's Asia only. You can't get it if you're not in Asia. Why? It's their Valentine's Day collection, of course. The products we can get in the West are pink, which pink and red for Valentine's Day. Yay, very revolutionary. Wet n Wild is coming out with a multi-chrome collection. Who knew? We now know that Essence and Catrice can do good multi-chromes at the drugstore. So I'm hoping for all the US folks that Wet n Wild can do it too. Is this something I can get? No. Is it pretty? Yes. Is it on trend? I kind of feel that like the real like hype for multi-chromes and anything shifty has kind of faded. So it's a bit like late to the party perhaps from ColourPop. Or what ColourPop? Wet n Wild. I was already looking at the next picture. But yeah, it makes sense for the brand, I guess. Wet n Wild can do some good makeup. ColourPop, the A Shadow of Secrets eyeshadow palette, or Valentine's Day collection. And let me tell you, this palette, it's pulling on my heartstrings. Do I need this? No. It's essentially like cooler tone neutrals and then reddish plummy berry shades. With some heathery purple. So this is the kind of purples that I would have wanted to see in the Nomad palette, you could say. This looks stunning. I don't need any of the other products that they do. With ColourPop, I just still really sort of like their eyeshadow palettes, but I've tried so much else from the brand that I've just felt a bit meh about. So I don't really want to try their lip products or their blushes or anything like that, because I've tried so much in the past and decluttered it all. But yeah, the palette looks nice, for sure. I'm not due a new ColourPop order for the next 2 years, though. So I think I'm just going to skip up on this for that reason. But this looks totally up my street. Really, really pretty. It's sort of like a mix of melt cheese and parties with some more neutrally shades. That's how this feels to me. That's how it reads. So melt cheese and parties is no longer available. I still have it. So, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So melt cheese and parties is definitely sort of like the vibe I'm getting from this collection, which is just a really good color story to have if you don't own it yet. But again, this like dark cherry berry thing that we're seeing from Glossier and Real Techniques and now ColourPop as well. There's another palette on the list that I'm going to be chatting about that's actually making its way to me as we speak. I can get the package any minute. We have another new release from Urban Decay, their Face Bond long-lasting powder blush suedes. Finally! Urban Decay, how long has it been since you've had a blush in your range? I've been asking for an Urban Decay blush for years now. They discontinued, that's the word I was looking for. They discontinued their Afterglow blushes really quickly for absolutely no reason. Are these shades like really exciting and new? Maybe not. The Backtalk shade I could probably get behind. That's the thing that is like most appealing to me. Not sure I need any of these though. I still have some of the original Urban Decay blushes from way back in the day. And what I do think is such a shame here is that they didn't do Bittersweet, which is the one I still have. It's a bright purple blush. So they've focused on all the boring bits that every line under the sun already does. Oh well, maybe they'll learn one day. More new blush then. This is from YSL. This is the blush, Make Me Blush 24-Hour Buildable Powder Blush. I'm losing track. Did I already talk about this? Like, I looked at this picture today. I was like, did I already chat about this? But all the YSL packaging just looks identical, so I never know what it is that they've got going on. There seem to be some more, like, interesting shades here. Especially because there's one that looks a little bit like a shimmering nude sort of situation. That could be nice. Do I need a YSL blush in my life? No, I just don't. And it's swatched on pretty deep skin or at least deeper skin than mine in the swatches I see here. So I'm not sure that shade is going to work well for me, but yeah, YSL has new blushes. So if that's something you're interested in, you might want to pick that up. Then Bella Beaute Bar is also coming out with a small palette for Valentine's Day. This is the Morally Grey palette. And some people are going to be so mad at me because we all know I love my cool tones. And this is one where I'm like, but do I need it? But do I need it? The thing that's throwing me off is the heart-shaped pans. That's the one thing I don't like about the palette because it makes it look a bit cheap. So I wouldn't want this. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of the Too Faced chocolate bonbons. Who remembers that one? I decolored mine a couple of years ago. Was that a pretty palette? Yes. But here's the thing. That also wasn't as cool toned as it looked. This has a lot of really pretty like shifty shades in, but the shifty shades seem to have quite a bit of warmth in them. And for a palette called Morally Gray, there's not a lot of gray. There's like one actually true gray in here. I didn't need the pink. I didn't need the cream shades. Like, make those light grays and then keep the rest of the palette, and then I would have liked this better. So for me, this is a bit too much of a like, not sure I'm going to like it. This will be dropping on MONOLITH on Sunday, so that's actually tomorrow as you're watching this video on the day it goes live. No, today, right now, as you're watching this video. I'm filming so many videos back to back that I'm like, wait, what? You can get this today from MONOLITH. We have from Guerlain, this is a Kiss Kiss Be Glow. I think it's like a tinted lip balm kind of situation. That's what these kind of look like. Nothing is too exciting here, so that's something I'm going to skip as well. Remember what I said about Charlotte Tilbury? There's another release that a lot of people are testing side by side with the new Charlotte Tilbury drop, and that's this from Rare Beauty. It's the Soft Pinch Liquid Contour, and the lightest shade, Gentle, is described as a fair cool taupe. On some people, I've seen this pool very cool toned, and some other people, I've seen this pool pretty warm toned. So I think it's more of a neutral shades, and if you're very, very fair and very cool toned, then I don't think the shade is quite right. I've also seen some creators use some of the other shades that do still have quite a bit of warmth in. And that's been a thing with Rare Beauty for me as well. There's a lot of warmth in their color products, which I'm not a huge fan of, but this is on the wish list. I think if I do buy myself the Natasha Denona I Need a Warm, which is still kind of on the wish list, I'll probably get it from French Sephora, and if this product is already on French Sephora at the same time, you know what's going to happen. Then I am going to try this out because I love the Soft Pinch liquid blushes from Rare Beauty. So getting something like this, and even if it's then a bit more warm toned, I could use it as a liquid bronzer. I would have no qualms using it in a different way if it wasn't the right shade for me to contour with. So yeah, that is kind of on the wish list. Next up is more from MAC Cosmetics. So MAC has the Future collection out. This really doesn't interest me all that much. This looks a bit haphazard. Let's call it haphazard because I don't really get the color stories and like the link with Future, whatever. Not that exciting. Adept is re-releasing their Minka palette, which now is a 15 pan and looks like this. Pretty, yes. I still have the original Minka palette. And that's not my favorite Adept palette. We do get some more mattes in here, which is good. But the mattes that we got in the Minka palette originally aren't here because it only has 2 purples. And a lot of the mattes in here pull pretty pink. So I'm like, not so sure about that. And I don't know why, but the fact that it has that minty green is totally throwing me off. So for me, this isn't going to be something that I want to get my hands on. I've tried some more Adept palettes, and the formula isn't really for me, I have to say. Is it really beautiful? Yes. But I just feel they need to work a little bit better on their balance between mattes and shimmers in their palettes. I never get the mattes I want with Adept. So for me, this is a no. Is it pretty? Yes. Is it like the original Minka palette? Looking at the swatches, I'm like, there are a few shades that were in the original palette, I think. But I don't really think that it's exactly the same. So like calling this the Minka again, I don't think that's quite fair. So remember what I said about like being confused about some of the releases? Apparently this came back. The Tarte Aspen Overt Eye and Cheek palette. They did a restock. It sold out in under an hour. and it's going to come back at mid-February. Like, wasn't this palette out in like 2016? Like, what's going on in the name of makeup? I was like, nobody wants this, but apparently it's sold out. So either they like stocked 3 palettes, because I can't imagine anyone being super excited for this in 2025. Prada has some new lipsticks. I don't need another luxury brand to be coming out with makeup. I've said it many times before. Not interested. I'm sorry. Notoriously Morbid has a winter palette out. It's a Life and Death palette, so it's based on Persephone. And it has some beautiful shades in. Again, a brand I've never tried before. They came to MONOLITH for like a hot minute, but I don't know what the status is because nothing has been restocked, so not sure how popular it actually was in the end. But yeah, Notoriously Morbid has a new palette out. Looks pretty, but with them, I've always found that, I don't know, it kind of looks cheap. Am I saying a bad thing by thinking that? I'm not entirely sure. This is another video of a NARS palette, and I looked at this and I was like, wait, didn't we get this from Charlotte Tilbury last month? Like, what's going on? Why does everything look the same? Why is everything lip oil, liquid, or stick blushes, and these kind of eyeshadow shades? Make it make sense. Not my thing. So this is something that you guys actually told me about in the comments, but then I started looking for it and I couldn't find it anywhere. And apparently this went out of stock, and now they were like posting like, we need your advice, do you want these back? So it's the Lilas Lumière and Praliné Chocolat Étendu, and they should be coming them back in the springtime. So I'm assuming that the sort of warmer toned one you see on that side of the image is the Praline Chocolat, and then that the other one with like the lighter shades in is the Lilas Lumière. Now I have the original Petit Four Lilas, and if I look at these, I'm like, I really don't need these in my life. I think I'm happy with my 4-pan, because there's only 4 shades in each of these palettes that I like the look of. Why add the warm tones? And like that Praliné Chocolat, no, not my cup of tea, you could say. So, and with Viseart, I'm not sure what they are thinking, but I tried the Cashmere and the Vespertine, and those are also very mid-tone, and they're so samey in the color story, and I feel the same way about these. So, not sure about you guys, but I'm not going to be picking these up. Essence and Pixar had a new collab out. I did spot these images when I was looking for the new Essence and Catrice stuff for Spring/Summer 2024. Had a look at it and decided, no thank you, this is not what I need in my life. So I've pretty much stopped buying these Disney limited edition collections from Essence and Catrice, because even though they do really well on the channel and they get me a lot of views, I just know I never go back to them. So just so you know. Here I have the Bella Beaute Bar Pastel Garden. This is all I have so far. It's not yet being like released or teased or anything like that. But apparently Pastel for Spring are still back. They are still a thing. They did the Secret Garden, right? With the pinks and the greens. So I'm thinking it's probably that, but a little bit more muted. That's my guess. We have more new stuff from Natasha Denona. It's these duo blushes. Makes sense for the brand. Natasha Denona wasn't doing a whole lot in terms of complexion products, I feel anyways. So yeah, having blushes makes sense. Do I need Natasha Denona blushes? No, because I've tried some of the blush formulas and they're not my favorite. So I'm going to be skipping out on these for sure. It's also a cream next to a highlighter, it says. How are these highlighters? Those would not be highlighters on me. I would just use them as blushes, I think. Adept Cosmetics is going to be rebranding, so I'm not sure when that will be done, but they do have a discount code, I think, until that happens, so I'm not sure if that's still going on. Then we have another new release from Makeup Forever. This is the the Super Boost Lightweight Moisturizing Skin Tint. Makeup Forever has been coming out with a lot of new things lately, haven't they? They really have. And I haven't heard a lot of people talking about them, so I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. What do you guys think? REM Beauty has some new makeup releases. There are some blushes, there are some balms, and there is a new fragrance, the Cherry Eclipse. And this has, again, black cherry. Where is the black cherry coming from all of a sudden? Everything is black cherry. Apparently a lot of people do like the fragrance. I've already seen people like smelling it and really loving it. It's just that I don't like marshmallow scents because it's far, far, far too sweet. You will be seeing what I do like in terms of fragrance really soon, because I'm going to be an updated fragrance collection for you in February. So stay tuned, because I will be filming that video actually right after this one. Pat McGrath has come out with a face mask. And it's supposed to give you that look of the Margiela fashion show that went viral last year. Yeah. It's a peel-off mask. Did we need this? I don't think we needed that. But now there's a product to get you that look if you wanted to. And here's the thing. The thing I was thinking was going to happen, because I've been seeing drugstore brands and also some like higher end brands doing K-beauty-like products as part of their lines. Essence and Catrice are guilty. Rare Beauty is very guilty of this as well. And now we have this from Maybelline. Yes, a cushion foundation. Listen, if you want an actual cushion foundation, go the K-beauty route if you can find your shade, please. Because they do some lovely, lovely things. They really, really do. You don't need to go in with a Maybelline product. You really don't. It doesn't say here how many shades will be there. There's no info on that yet. But it should be out in Asia first. Not sure when it's going to come to the rest of the world. But yeah, Maybelline had a pretty good cushion foundation the first time cushion foundations went viral in the West. So now they're coming back. So we're seeing more drugstore brands tapping into this cushion foundation thing. I love cushion foundations. I think they're really good. I have quite a few in my collection. There's going to be a couple that I'm going to keep around as part of my makeup collection for sure, because I really like them. I would just buy them from K-beauty brands rather than Maybelline. So remember what I said about a palette making its way to me? This thing, the Bitten. So MONOLITH very kindly reached out to me and asked if I wanted to receive any products from their new drop that they're doing today, and I could pick this one. So I picked this one because I've never tried Gourmand Girls, and it's been a brand that's been on my radar of something I would like to try. And this is essentially that ColourPop palette, but with like a teal in there. The teal makes it look interesting to me in this case. So I'm very intrigued with this color story and what it's going to do on my fair skin, because it does look quite dark. I'm not going to lie. But hey, I'm getting to try this at no cost for myself. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Like I said, the carrier is on its way to me to deliver the package today. So hope it's here on time so I can take pictures and post it on my community tab to alert you once again of the new MONOLITH drop that's happening today. Rhode has a new lip liner out. I know everybody's going gaga for Rhode, but I seem to be like the last person on the planet who's interested in this Hailey Bieber line. Like, even my colleagues at work are talking about this stuff. And I'm like, it's like the new Kylie Jenner brand, I feel. So, and that was a brand I never got into either. So, yeah, I don't need this in my life. And it's not available in Europe either. Like, you can't buy the brand here. You have to import it from the US. Dior has some shade extensions to their highlighters, it seems. Yeah, the Forever Glow Luminizer. There's also a Glow Cushion. So here we get another cushion foundation and a case. It's also going to be dropping in March in Asia. Then we could, of course this was going to happen, because Fantasy Cosmetica seems to like rotate through different kinds of color stories, and they hadn't done a warm toned color story in a while. So they've now come out with a new 9 pen called the Monk. And this is so yellow. I would look like a canary if I were to wear this. So for me, this is not going to happen. But if you love very warm-toned, spicy things, maybe try this. It seems to have some really pretty duochromes in, like multi-chromes. And this seems to be coming in the 9-pan sort of setup that Fantasy Cosmetica has done from the start, which is my favorite formula from them. So I think that if you love these kind of warm tones, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. Clionadh has 2 little quads out. These are the Garland and Garden mini quads. And it's a little bit of a collection. And these were new. And they launched them together with the sale that they had going on a little while ago. So I'm not sure if these are still available, but these don't look like anything too special to me. Devroon Cosmetics is launching the Smitten Kitten collection. Wasn't there a kitten collection in last month's videos? Did I already talk about the packaging? Not sure if this is brand new or not, but this looks okay. I don't really need these shades though in my life. I don't think that these are the kind of shades I would be reaching for a whole lot. Yes, there are grays in here. Yes, there are purples. Yes, there are some bright pops of color. So it looks really stunning, but I don't think this is for me. The skincare makeup hybrid train is rolling, keeps on rolling, I should say, because Glow Recipe is coming out with the Watermelon Glow Dewy Flush. So a blush, but a skincare product at the same time. I haven't really tried a lot of Glow Recipe when they first dropped, and I was able to get my hands on some products. I bought a couple of the tester sets and I found them too heavily fragranced for my liking. So even though, I don't get an allergic reaction to fragrance, but because of my asthma, certain fragrances can really hit me and then I just get a headache. So it's not the fact that I'm allergic to it or anything like that. It's just that I don't like a whole lot of fragrance. The watermelon thing smells like candied watermelon. If you buy the little candy watermelon shaped things, those sour things, that's what it smells like. I don't need that in my skincare. I just don't. So that's why I've sort of inched away from anything Glow Recipe does. It's just not really for me. Tower 28 has a tinted lip balm out. It's not an oil, but still it fits in that same category. Confetti Cake and Sugar Plum. Some pretty shades, but you can tell by the swatches here, there's barely a difference between these two. Tower 28 does some really good lip products. I'm wearing one today. I love their glosses. Those are really, really successful for me, but I don't necessarily need these things because Tower 28 doesn't put a lot of preservatives in their product, so you do need to make sure you use them up before they expire, and that's my goal this year, to use up both of my Tower 28 lip glosses. And I've committed to wearing pretty much nothing but the 2 Tower 28 lip glosses I currently have in my makeup collection in Pistachio and Sesame throughout the month of January to give myself a head start, you could say, because I knew I had to get more use out of those really, really soon. A new palette from Cosmic Brushes or Cosmic Beauty, the Lovers palette. This looks really cute. It looks really pretty. But the brand is already doing posts on their Instagram where they're saying, hey, if you already have this palette, this is how similar this new palette is. And that's the thing I'm seeing here. It's just not that unique. I think there's quite a bit of overlap that if you already have a few of the Cosmic Brushes palettes, that these shades are going to be pretty similar. So is it pretty? Yes, you get sort of like a pinky warm tone side and then a cooler greeny blue side. I really like the concept here. It is a little bit smaller than the usual palette. No, it's just laid out in a slightly different way, I now see. It's rectangular rather than more square, but it's still 20 shades. I wish they'd kept the shape the same, like the shape of the palette. Now, if you have a couple of them, this one is always going to stand out like a sore thumb. I don't like it when brands do that. Just stick to what you're good at. Pretty, yes. For me, no. And then this just dropped. I was checking my Instagram before I sat down to film this video. This is new from Beauty Bay. It's their limited edition Daydreamer collection. And I have said this in other videos before, that Beauty Bay and me and their limited edition palettes, we don't really like each other very much. But, When it comes to their regular range, I now finally got to try some of their palettes that they release like regularly, and those I did like. So the smoky palettes were some of my favorites of 2024. So I now know where the hype comes from, why people like Beauty Bay shadows, but I think I will just be skipping out on this one, not because I don't like it, because this color story looks very much up my street. Like, this is a perfect replacement for my Too Faced White Chocolate Bar. I'm sitting down filming 2 videos back to back here, but it's giving me these kind of vibes, but with some more purples rather than blues in, I would say. But yeah, it's giving Too Faced White Chocolate Bar. So if you ever missed out on that palette, there is quite a bit of warmth here though. Not so sure, but there are some cooler things. It's like pastels with neutrals. That's the way I feel about this one. Pretty, yes. Do I need it? No, because me and the Beauty Bay limited edition formula just don't really get along. Unearthly, it has listed 2 new eyeshadow palettes on their website. It's the Shadowed Petal and the Murky Meadow. These are 9 pans. One of them is like cooler tone berries, and then another one is a bit spicier with some yellows and some warm tones. Pretty, yes. Do I need these? Absolutely not. And then I also found a new release from Glam Shop. They're coming out with another Valentine's Day collection. I think they did one last year as well. There are some new quads in here. There seem to be some cheek products and some lip products. And these look really pretty. If these are indeed different, because they do come in the same packaging as some of the quads we got last year. But there seems to be one that's pretty cool toned. So that could be something I might want to try, because I haven't tried their quads yet. So I'm not sure if that's the same quality as their other palettes. And the Crème de la Crème, which I talked about in my previous new makeup releases, is still kind of on the wish list. And finally, oh, this isn't by Makeup Revolution. It's by Profusion. It just looks like Makeup Revolution. That's why I was confused. But these are the Juicy Lips Lip Oils by Profusion. Say it with me. Did we need another lip oil? There were 5 new lip oil releases in one video. Why? I don't get it. Oh well. I think we've talked enough about these new makeup releases. Let me know in a comment down below what new makeup releases you are interested in. What are you hoping to get? What is going on your wish list? I hope I wasn't too ranty, because there's just like so much of it just didn't make any sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. That's like my new tagline, I think, for these videos. But yeah, there's a couple of things like the MAC lipsticks and the Rare Beauty contour that I am interested in. But most of this, I'm like, I don't need that in my life. So I would like to thank you so very much for watching this video today, and joining me again on this journey. If you want to check out more of my videos, you are more than welcome to do so. I do post videos 4 times a week on the channel. Thumbs up this one in the meantime if you did like it, and if you subscribe, then you can stay updated of when I post new videos. So I hope you'd like to stay tuned for more, and then I really hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye!